when you've been mentioning West Scranton, you keep saying Invaders. Where did the nickname come from? Just because, like, I went to Pittston area, and you know, we're the Patriots. You know, Wyoming area has the Warriors. Where did Invaders come from?
So it's a great story. So it's a story that I often tell the student body when we're talking. It's something that I talk about during our freshman orientation. I usually ask the question, does anyone know why we're called the name Invaders? So the answer to that is we're proud to be the only high school in America named after the invaders of Normandy. So originally the school was built in 1932 as a junior high school. It was 7th through 9th grade. And then the students would then go to either the other two high schools in Scranton Central or Scranton Tech. In 1944, right after D-Day invasion, so September of 1944, the school was transitioning to a high school and becoming a 9 to 12. So they were forming a football team. So September, leading up to that, probably in the summer of 1944, they were forming a football team, and they asked the student body, they took a poll, and they said, what should we call our football team? What should our mascot be? And overwhelmingly, the student body voted to be named the Invaders, after the invaders of Normandy that had just occurred in June. So that's something we're very proud of at West Scranton.
That's beautiful. And we've seen, in the lobby of the school, I believe you've got several items of military memorabilia, different things that honor the service from those veterans and others. So that's really great to see.
We're proud of that history. Something that I was a part of as an assistant principal, we had the 70th anniversary of the D-Day invasion. And what we did is we had a lot of veterans that we found out later that quit high school to join the military. So we paired that anniversary along with veterans, and there were West Scranton High School students that quit high school, joined the military, never got their diplomas. We paired that with them. We were able to give out diplomas to those veterans. Wow. And also what we asked for is donations from the West Scranton community of any of West Scranton's prior students of either uniforms, helmets, anything from World War II. And we have a whole bunch of donations that we're able to make really a mini museum. And what our main room is when you first walk in the school, we call it our alumni room. And we have it's all owed to the D-Day invasion and the invaders. And all of the items in there are donated by families of West Scranton High School students.
Yep, and we've seen that when we've been in there, and it's a wonderful lesson in history. So great to see. Now, I think you've talked a little bit about this, but tell us a little bit about how in West Scranton being the only neighborhood in the city, and one of the only ones really around northeastern Pennsylvania, especially when you look at Wilkes-Barre where, the neighborhood schools were consolidated recently, it's one of the only neighborhoods that has its own high school. So tell us, if you could, a little bit more about that, and how does that play into the community spirit that we see throughout the neighborhood?
So I think, I see West Scranton High School as the pillar of our community. I think really the center of where everything happens. And then our kids and students go from there, and they make things happen, right? So I think that it's a proud part to be at West Scranton High School, whether you're from there or not, because our faculty, some of them are. So we do have a lot of faculty that went to West Scranton or from West Scranton, but we have a lot that are not. So when they come in, they learn that our culture is a very welcoming West Scranton culture, and we take care of each other. We're really one big family, and that stems from the communities, as you just mentioned. So we've always been a neighborhood school where our kids walk to and from school and disperse into the West Scranton neighborhoods, and we're proud of that. I think that's something that offered is always knowing each other. A lot of our students are familiar with each other because they grow up in the neighborhoods, and then they come to our school, and then they go off after and do whatever they're going to do after high school. But that's something we're proud of.
Very good.
Yeah, and that's something that you don't really see a lot of anymore with a lot of the school district consolidations, for better or for worse. Like really, especially a lot of the ones in Luzerne County, they're really across multiple different townships and boroughs. But here it's straight up the entire West Scranton neighborhood, which I think is really neat.
Yep. So tell us a bit about how the school has grown and evolved in its makeup over the years since you were there as a student and before to now. I know that we see many new communities, diverse communities come in and make West Scranton their home. So if you can tell us a bit about how the student body has evolved and changed over the years, that would be great to hear.
I think that it's constantly evolving. Now we have a lot more students who have come from outside West Scranton and then become part of our, they become part of our school. And then one of the things that we're so rich in culture, and one of the things that West Scranton has always been known for is work ethic, blue collar, and really pushing through adversity. So when we talk about our school's values and what we do, and we have a theme that we say, act like invaders, and something that means is hold yourself proud, right? Be confident, and push through in the face of adversity. Life's not always going to be easy, but we're invaders. We push through and we charge on, just like the invaders of Normandy, and we talk about that a lot. So I think that even though that our population has changed, you know, and then we've had some students who have come in from outside the area, the one great thing that's consistent is that's our values. So that's what we talk about. That's how our programs are in our classrooms. You know, beyond academics, we're preparing kids for the future.